Standing start racing at Hooton Park. It's got to be Honda Cadet, hasn't it? Robin Ashton and Sam Vout on the front row of the starting grid. Tom Nichols, third position, a bit of a surprise for him after qualifying. Fourth position alongside Joseph Cheetham, and then Evan Meller and Adam Butt, who we are assuming is keeping it in the family with Hakim, of course, who was in the previous sets of races. Now we are here ready for the Honda Cadet opening heat. And as everybody gets themselves into position, they will wait for the lights to go out on the gantry, and then they will be starting fast out of the block. So off we go, a bit of bouncing to make as much momentum in these karts come their way. Nichols tightening in behind Vout. Robin Ashton gets a perfect start, and that's going to be a nice undercut manoeuvre from Tom Nichols into second place immediately.
Yeah, Tom Nichols, a bit of a surprise, as you said in the commentary there, Jake, to see him in third place on the grid. But already up to second. What can he do from there? There's some very nice, only 6 in this one, but we're hoping for a competitive race and some very nice Grosvenor Cup gold trophies. Solid gold, Jake, 22 carat. Bob Wilson has spared no expense buying the trophies this weekend. Thousands they cost.
That's Bob Wilson all the way. Adam Batt battling away with Evan Meller for 5th position, and these two are giving it good guns blazing. Joe Cheetham having a look to try and get past Sam Vout. It's not very easy to do that, but here is Robin Ashton. Tom Nichols right in behind him. Bit of a run wide from Ashton. Oh, he was lucky there. I think Tom Nichols is going to make mincemeat of him if he keeps sliding. This is going to be the chance on momentum down the back straight into Hooton hairpin. No! Robin Ashton makes sure that that door is slammed firmly shut in his face. Oh, and a bit of a slide there from Vout in the background. That's enough to let Cheetham and Adam Batt through. I think Evan Meller is going to seek an opportunity as well, but this is very tough stuff early on.
Yeah, Robin Ashton's car is sliding around all over the place early doors. That might be he's got lower tyre pressures, which will come to him later in the race. But Tom Nichols he's looking to take advantage, isn't he? He tried to take advantage going up into the hairpin last time, and look at that, same thing happens. 4-wheel drift out wide, and Tom Nichols pounces on it. Fastest lap in the process as he went through the line last time, and Nichols through to the lead.
That was fairly inevitable, wasn't it? Because the back end of the kart looked like it had ice cubes strapped to the wheels. It was all over the place. But again, as you say, if the tyre pressures are set up correctly for him, then as the race evolves, these two could actually switch back again.
Yeah, I'm saying that. I don't know what tyre pressures he's got. I'm just saying that's an indication of perhaps lower tyre pressures, which will last the length of the race. Right. But you have to hold on to it early.
Sam Vout, I was just going to say, Sam Vout's had a problem, and there he is. He's gone clean off the road at, I think that's turn 1, isn't it? So he's had an issue there. The field are going to close in to lap him fairly quickly, I would think. Yes, they are. So Sam Vout's had an issue there, and unfortunately, these are the guys he should be racing with for position. But it's all gone horribly wrong for Sam Vout, and now he's been lapped by the 2 leaders. As a result of that, Nichols is actually going to lose a bit of ground here to Robin Ashton. Ashton is still swarming around all over him, so this isn't done yet. If anything, it's just got interesting.
Yeah, Ashton closed him down there, took advantage of the back markets, how you use traffic in karting, and we've mentioned this in mini bikes as well, Jake. How you use the traffic can determine the result of a race, determine your position in the race. You've got to make best use of the traffic. If you're out front, you need to catch the traffic at the right point, make the move, and then make it stick, and then try and put the traffic between you. And in this case, it would be Tom Nichols with traffic between himself and Robin Ashton in second, but Ashton actually closed him.
So heat 1 of the Grosvenor Cup for poor Sam Vout has essentially become a race of learn it. Well, he's disappeared off the back of Adam Batt as well.
Good battle here, though. Cheetham and Evan Meller. Good battle going on there for 3rd and 4th.
It really is, to be fair. Meller looks very hungry indeed here in 4th position, doesn't he? Joe Cheetham actually had an opportunity earlier on to try and move his way further forward. I believe that Sam Vout has actually come into the pits and parked it. So clearly there was an issue with the kart that caused the spin. So problems then for Sam Vout. Hopefully he'll be back in the later races. And we got side by side for the lead up in front. Nichols was trying to keep Robin Ashton behind him there as we watch Joe Cheetham. In fact, I think that's Sam Vout still on the track actually. So I think they're actually lapping him a second time. So there's been more problems for Sam Vout than had first been thought, because he's been lapped again. So they're trying to clearly iron out the problems. There is Vout. You can just see his Dayglow yellow machine. And that the reason they ended up closing up a little bit more, of course, was because they were trying to navigate their way past Sam Vout. But this is Evan Meller trying to work his way through to Joe Cheetham. There it is. Oh, and again! So that's the 3rd time that Sam Valt has gone off the road by my maths. Clearly not all going up. The problem is he went off once, of course, and they're on slick tyres on a dry track, but the grass is absolutely soaking wet. So there's so much water on the tyres now. You've essentially got to work very hard to get the water off the tyres again to build back the temperature. If you spin off during that point, then it's basically just happening. It's going to happen all over again.
Oh, and another one running wide. Oh.
That's Evan Mellor. So Mellor drifting wide, and the problem he's got now is that he'll have two really hot tyres and two really cold tyres as a result of going wide.
Yeah, I can tell you when I was putting the cameras out earlier in the day, the grass was very wet indeed. So you are right, Jake. If you go off on the grass and then come back on, then it's going to take you a lap or two to get that water off your tyres.
So Nichols is 41.3 for the lap time. That's an incredible performance compared to Robert Ashton. Now that he's settled in, he's decided, right, if Ashton is going to be quicker in the second half of the race, I'm going to need to build a cushion. I need to build an advantage here to make sure that he's going to run out of time to catch me. And that's exactly what Tom Nichols has done. Look, just checking over his shoulder.
Yeah,
Where is he? Where is he? I've got enough of a gap now. This is comfortable.
Yeah, it's well clear now. Not as quick this time, 41.4.
I love his commitment through turn one, though. Did you see just how hard he was pushing to try and build the gap? A lot of drivers at this point would have just gone, right, I'm going to settle in, I'm going to hit cruise control mode now and coast it in. Not Tom Nichols. He only seems to know two speeds, flat out or stationary.
Yeah, to be honest, he's looked behind himself, behind twice during that last lap, and I can tell him that's once too many. Once you've looked behind and you've seen somebody, 40 metres behind you, you do not need to look behind you again for the rest of the race. It's as simple as that. He's got the race won, he doesn't need to look behind the last lap.
Yeah, last lap, he's not going to have any issues at all with the driver behind unless he makes the mistake, which he certainly hasn't through either turns 1 or turn 2. Looking so planted, and he's going a full second a lap quicker.
I don't know what he's looking at. He's already seen him miles behind. He's not getting that close to you now.
I wonder if he's doing the whole speed racer thing, looking at his imaginary ghost best lap like you do in the video games. That was always a really enjoyable scene of that movie, Speed Racer, a few years ago now. Oh, nice effort from Adam Batt to try and get past Evan Mellor. He's done a lot of hard work to catch him, but he just didn't quite have the opportunity. Tom Nichols, though, absolutely dominant. You don't see many drivers celebrating after a heat victory, but that one clearly means a lot to Tom Nichols. Robin Ashton, 2 hands in the air. What could I do?
Well, I think Robin Ashton, was he hitting the steering wheel there? I don't think he was very happy with his performance in that one. Let's see what he does next time up.
Joe Cheatham was perfectly happy to come home in 3rd position, and the battle between Evan Mellor and Adam Batt is only just getting interesting here at Hooton Park. There could be a lot more to come from those two. Hopefully we'll see more from Sam Valt as well after a tricky race. Into the second of the Honda Cadet heats, Tom Nichols and Robin Ashton will renew their battle from the front row of the grid. Tom Nichols definitely bouncing back in style, having got off P3 previously. Joe Cheatham will renew his warrior battle with Evan Mellor and Adam Batt. And Sam Valt is just hoping that the car stays on the racing line this time after a very difficult opening race. He certainly had the pace to be on the front row, so we could see quite a few overtakes in this second of the Grosvenor Cup Honda Cadet heats. Waiting for the lights to go out. And when they do, we will be going racing. Oh, a little bit of a nudge there at the back. Couple of drivers getting caught out by just how long the lights were on the starting gantry. And it's really shuffled the decks. Look at Sam Valt. What a rocket ship start.
That's a great start. Great start by Sam Valt there. And he's gone from the back of the grid to 3rd place already.
Right, if I'm a racing driver and I'm in the middle of all that moment, I would have gone, right, game on, let's do it. But back in the inside comes Evan Mellor, gets through in a 3rd position. Oh, a little bit of a nudge as Sam Valt tried to get back on momentum. So Mellor back into 3rd position again ahead of Sam Valt. Then it is Cheatham, then it is Adam Batt. But this is very tricky stuff for Sam Valt now, who's desperately trying to hang on in front of Joe Cheatham. Knows, of course, that he has got a kart good enough to finish in 3rd position and finds himself down in P5, whereas Robin Ashton needs to set about Tom Nichols early after the pace we saw earlier on. Yeah. He does not want to let him to get away.
Now, we saw him sliding around in that first heat early on. Looks like he's not sliding around there going through turn 1, so hopefully that will mean he can get closer to him. Up the inside, looking up the inside at least, that's Joseph Cheatham. Looking for the place and makes the place on Sam Valt. Valt runs wide, 2 wheels on the grass, but holds onto it. holds on to it.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Holds on to it
Absolutely.
through the double apex. So Sam Velt kept it all together there.
Truly
Interesting,
brilliant.
good battling going on here for the 4th, 5th and 6th place.
That was so difficult for Sam Velt. Once the kart got sideways, now he loses out to Joe Cheatham in the final hairpin.
Good move by Cheatham.
It was fantastic. Total opportunist. Suddenly realised that Velt was going to get out sideways, saw the gap on the inside and took advantage. But fair play to both men. You know, contact is obviously not meant to be a part of this sport. But if it happens, you've got to keep your wits about you. And that was incredible reflexes from Sam Velt, considering his tender years, to be able to get out of that situation, keep it on the island and do it fairly.
Yeah, no point in throwing your arms in the air and trying to attract the attention of the officials. It's happened. Get on with it, basically. So good battle going in here for 4th, 5th and 6th. Nichols again has set the fastest lap, 41.6. He's quicker than Ashton. Is he getting away? Let's have a look this time. Set another fastest lap. 41.4 against 42 seconds. So this one looks like it's going the way of Nichols again, Jake.
Certainly does. He's got initial pace. Sam Veld has got a little bit wide in turn 1. He had to completely psych out Adam Batt to make sure that Adam wasn't going to get the overtaking move into turn 1. That was pure psychological mind games, wasn't it? He stared him down. Are you really going to try and make this move? And now he's gesturing to him, don't overtake me. Let's go and get back after Joe Cheatham. It's whether Adam Batt is willing to play ball or not.
Max Verstappen, or Tom Nichols I should say, doing a Max Verstappen here, clearing off. So we're not going to see a lot of Tom Nichols because he's going around the track on his own, indeed is Robin Ashton. Ashton goes through the line there. Here comes Evan Mellor through in 3rd. Just saw Ashton going through. Not seeing much of the lead because this is the battle on the track that we are concentrating on.
Just seen the lap times from Tom Nichols as well, a 41.1 at this stage of the race. That is very strong pace indeed, considering where we're at. And the way that the track conditions are currently. They're obviously dry, but it's still fairly cold for this time of the year. It's not exactly been the bed of roses and the sun trap that we were hoping it was going to be this weekend. The sun has returned, but obviously offline it's still incredibly wet, so you've got to be very careful, as Sam Velt learned the hard way, of course, in Heat 1. But now he's doing his best to shake off the attentions of Adam Batt. Tom Nichols again in the 41.3s. Evan Mellor's really picking up the pace. 41.9 from him. He's actually going quicker than Robin Ashton.
Yeah, interesting. Ashton just doesn't have a response this time. 7 tenths off Nichols. He's consistently 6 and 7 tenths off Nichols. Nichols just clearing off, doing a Verstappen out front. So we're not seeing a lot of him because this battle here for 5th place, and we said it before, say it again, maybe for 5th today, but these are the battles you want to come out on top of, because it may be for 5th and 6th today, but at some point in the future, and these drivers will be less experienced than the likes of Nichols, Ashton and Mellor. As their experience grows, they will start battling for wins, and it's what you learn in these battles. This is for 5th place out of the 6 drivers. It's this battle here where you learn your tradecraft for future years.
Fascinating stuff. I love the way that we watch this from 2 very different perspectives, Alan, because obviously I see it from a racing fan's perspective, someone who likes the good nature of the battles. You see it from very much an engineering perspective, very much a sort of a spanner and setup, obviously, for all the years you worked with Stevie. And it's been fascinating always to kind of see, you know, how you pitch it compared to how I look at it. I see it very much from a wheel-to-wheel race battle. You see it from what the kart's going to do.
Let me explain why. The first time we raced at Wigan, my son was lapped by the leaders. He came off. As we walked back to the awning, he was second in the novice race, but he said, I'll never be as fast as those quick laps. That's what he said. I said, well, you know, you never know. He went on to win British Championship events. So that's why I say, you know, these battles, these days, this battle here for 5th place is important. My son thought he would never be as quick as everybody else. He ended up being one of the quickest. So that's what happens. You start off in karting, it's about enjoying it, it's about winning the little battle you're in, and you generally always have someone to play with. Here, it's Sam Velt and Adam Batt battling for 5th place. The others, all right, a bit of a gap between them. That's why we're concentrating on this battle at the back of the field here, rather than the leaders. Tom Nichols won't bother about that too much. All right, he'll say, all right, well, I'm not being seen on track, but he's not bothered. He's just seeing going through the picture. Yeah, he's just going through the picture there, through the double apex. Tom's not bothered about not being seen. He just wants to win the race.
Absolutely. I mean, I can attest to the fact that you kind of always you know, push your way through your own expectations and your own mental barriers. I mean, I would never have thought I'd ever be competitive in any form of karting as a commentator only and never getting the chance to race. It was only when I had my own chance at Daytona Super Champs earlier this year to have a go in the heavyweights, and I came away with third on my debut. You'd have never thought that.
Into the last lap. That is Tom Nichols on the 74. Comfortable victory again.
Oh,
even more comfortable than last time.
The style and the smooth fluidity that he's there behind the wheel. The kart is stepping out the slightest, but it's controllable. It's absolutely on the feather.
That was a classic four-wheel drift there, going through the latter part of the double apex. But generally in karting, you like to see the kart stick in the corner. But back in the old days, Formula One, that was the fastest way round the corners, was a four-wheel drift. Checkered flag for Tom Nichols.
Gets the job done in fine style in front of Robin Ashton. That sets things up very nicely for the final. Evan Mellor, absolutely determined to get to the top three, does so and is very happy with the result. Again, it's these little victories. That's what you need to take from each of these races. Great to see Evan Mellor celebrating his achievement. Tom Nichols taking the win, Robin Ashton second, Evan Mellor a very suitable third place. Joe Cheatham in fourth position. Sam Vout wins his little battle with Adam Batt, but will he get the chance to do so again next time? Here we go then into the Honda Cadet final. Tom Nichols has had it pretty much his own way after the difficulties of qualifying. 2 wins out of 2, now going into the final, 4 points ahead of Robin Ashton on qualification mark. Joe Cheatham and Evan Mellor had the same score, so did Adam Batt and Sam Vout. So it could be a very interesting final as we get ourselves underway in the Grosvenor Cup in Honda Cadet. Off we go, and it's a good start from Mellor, trying to get up alongside the leading two. But it's not quite going to happen as Nichols holds his nerve on Robin Ashton. Ashton is going to try and get under the skin as soon as humanly possible. He doesn't want to get too far behind Tom Nichols. Meanwhile, in the further back, we've got Sam Vout and Adam Batt already starting their battle. It's currently gone the way of Sam Vout. But if I'm Robin Ashton, I want to get ahead of Tom Nichols as soon as is humanly possible.
Yeah, well, as a minimum, he wants to hold on to the back of him, doesn't want to lose the back of him like he did early in that last race. He was 3 or 4 tenths a lap and then 6 and 7 tenths a lap slower. So he needs to try and hold on to the back of him, and he's doing that at the end of this first lap. Tom Nichols looking over his shoulder, not happy.
Where's Joe Cheatham gone? Joe Cheatham's disappeared from the fray. So we've got Nichols, Ashton and Mellor. Then Adam Batt and Sam Vout, and there is Joe Cheatham.
Mechanical, that looks like a mechanical, that, Jake.
Oh, that's so devastating after all the hard work of the heats for it all to come unstuck in the final. Yellow flags on that part of the course, and oh well, it looks as though Joe Cheatham is going to get going again. So maybe it was an error. He ended up spinning off the road and then obviously getting a little bit bogged down in the grass and the mud. So maybe that's what's happened there. Unfortunately, he's lost a lap.
Mechanical error in a Honda Cadet race with a Honda engine, which are bulletproof, let's be honest. Very, very rare. So, yeah, we didn't see what happened, but he's running again, but he's a lap down.
Right, Robin Ashton still pushing to try and get on terms with Tom Nichols, who has already opened 4 tenths of a second on Robin Ashton in the past lap. Evan Mellor still going well in third position. Then it becomes about Adam Batt versus Sam Vout. And I have to say, Adam Batt has already started out of the blocks, looking a lot more confident in this one. 4th position ahead of Sam Vout. But Robin Ashton is just desperate, desperate. Do not lose sight of Tom Nichols. Keep that crash helmet very much in view.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a gap. It's more of a gap than he would like. It's the exact gap that Tom Nichols, as he looks over his shoulder, wants to see. And he wants to start extending this lead now.
You were comparing Tom Nichols to Max Verstappen earlier on. It's very much the similar sort of advantage that he has. That was how Max won so many Formula One races over the last 3-4 years. It was the initial 3 or 4 laps at the start of a race where the car was just perfect in those first few laps. You build up enough of a gap, the rest of the race is then in your control. And that's exactly what Tom Nichols has been able to achieve here. He and his mechanic have clearly found the sweet spot for those first 3 or 4 laps to build enough of a gap that the rest of the race is his own destiny.
Yeah, more important in Formula One, of course, you want to do that in the early few laps because you haven't got the rear flap opening, have you?
Very true. Not that we have anything like that in karting. We don't even have a boost push-to-pass system in karting. It all comes down to pure instinct. Robin Ashton really pushing it through turn 1.
Yes, he's got the four wheels drifting again through that turn. It's not the quickest way through the corner, and it's costing him time. And look at this in third place, Evan Mellor.
I was just about to
keeping
point that
Robin
out.
Ashton very honest indeed.
Yeah, Mellor has suddenly taken a bit of a quantum leap. The end of that last race has clearly done him a world of good for confidence. And look, even Robin Ashton is actually looking over his shoulder. I don't need to be worrying about Tom Nichols anymore. I don't think I can catch him. It's Evan Mellor.
Yeah.
He's the danger man.
That's what that says. As soon as you see him look over his shoulder like that, he's not thinking about, am I going to win the race? Can I win the race? He's thinking, can I hold on to the second?
This is great work from Evan Mellor over the weekend, because in the first race, it wasn't quite all to plan. Something wasn't quite right with the setup. He wasn't able to really maximise himself. They got it right in the second heat, and the confidence he's taken from being in the top three. You saw him celebrating at the end of the second heat. He was very happy with the way they turned it around. Now, in third position, he's got nothing to lose here. He can go for it. He can start to charge after Robin Ashton. He probably knows, the same way we do, that the race win is probably done for Tom Nichols. But Evan Mellor has every bit of an opportunity. Look at the way he's driving. He's got that little bit of a stance, just perhaps a little bit of an overcorrection in the final hairpin. But in terms of his pace, he's right there with Robin Ashton. There's only a tenth or so between them consistently, so it definitely looks as though Mellor might have something. Adam Batt, meanwhile, he's found a sweet spot in setup as well, because he's been able to not only get ahead of Sam Vout, but check out.
Now, Cheatham's had an issue towards the back, but look at his times compared to the two drivers in front of him. He's actually quicker now, Joseph Cheatham, so he knows that he's a lap down, so his final's done for. He's not winning a 22-carat Grosvenor Cup gold trophy.
Well, it's bragging
today.
rights now, isn't it?
It's just about, can I catch this guy? It's now a practice session. It's a test session for him. He knows he's closing on them because he can physically see that and feel that. Here he comes now. That is the 43 of Joseph Cheatham. He'll want to try and catch the driver in front. He knows it's not going to be for position, but he just wants to try and catch the driver in front. That's part of the fun of karting.
And it is something that he can take away with. You know, okay, I made the mistake in the race battle itself, but I was quicker than both of them, and I can prove it. So it's obviously something to work on. And a 42.2 for Cheatham that time was quicker than both Adam Batt and Sam Vout. Here is Sam Vout, who's had a bit of a topsy-turvy day, it has to be said, isn't it? Yeah. Sam Vout, he's not had the easiest of race meetings, but in terms of his speed, we know that in qualifying he was good enough to be on the front row of the grid, so he just got unfortunate really in the first race. Oh, just catching a little bit. That's a really tricky part of the course there. If you catch that curb on the inside of either apex, the kart doesn't like it at all, and it wants to spit you out.
Yeah, we've seen that before. Drivers hit the first one, hit the second one. You know, maybe they hit the second one with the rear tyre, it just spins the rear of the kart round. That is the 43 of Joseph Cheatham. And so good to see him in the race and battling and trying to catch the drivers in front. And he is catching the drivers in front, let's be clear.
Yeah, he is indeed. 42.2s. In fact, Sam Vout's really had to accelerate his pace to try and get away from him.
Yeah, Sam Vout's slightly quicker than him last time. That's the best lap we've seen from Sam Vout. Anything in blue is the driver's fast lap. Anything in purple is the fastest lap of the race. Any other colour just means that's your last lap time.
So it's always interesting. We talk about curbs a little bit in this sport because obviously it does make a big difference. Certainly here at Houghton Park it does. And it always fascinates me. In the world of karting, particularly in Britain, the drivers are almost encouraged to skip over curbs to try and find the fastest route round. But at Houghton Park, you've got to be very picky and choosy as to which curbs you do that with.
Well, if you remember, we were commentating at Wilton Mill on the new complex there. Look at the difference.
They were getting airtime.
The younger drivers in the Hondas and the Bambinos, they didn't go over the middle part of the curb on that final complex.
Agreed.
In what we're now calling the Chelsea boot, the heel of that boot. But the Pro Karts just went straight over the top, middle of the curb, straight over the top, and they got some serious airtime.
Yeah, it's a difficulty, isn't it? Because in these shorter wheelbase, narrower dimensions of karts, you've got a lot less gravity, a lot less centre of gravity to play with. So if you go over a decent curb at an immense amount of speed, you've not got anywhere near the downforce to catch you.
Yeah, last lap as they go through the line, it's going to be a comfortable victory for Tom Nichols. And I always come back to the fact that Michael Schumacher, when he was racing in the World Championships in karting at Kirpen, his home circuit, by the way, he mullered every single curb, straight over the top of every curb. You had drivers going round the curb, he was going straight over the top, and that's his home circuit. I say his home circuit, he owned the circuit. If he's doing that, you know that's the fastest way around the corner.
So here comes Tom Nichols then in what has been a tough start to the weekend. Qualifying did not go his way, but what he has done since then has been absolutely immaculate. Heat 1 victory, Heat 2 victory, now the Grosvenor Cup final victory as well. 2 arms in the air, excellent work for Tom Nichols. He even set the fastest lap of the race on the final lap, taking a leaf out of Lewis Hamilton's book. Robin Ashton is very satisfied with second place. He can be proud of that. Evan Meller, third position, a great turnaround of a weekend for him as well. Adam Batt can be pretty happy with fourth position as well, considering where his weekend began. Sam Vout, well, he'll want more next time, but he certainly has the speed to make it count. Joe Cheatham did not throw his toys out of the pram, saw the race weekend out. Good boy.